Picture this. It's early morning. The rain is just aggressively lashing against the windows of this cold, gray corporate building. But, the real storm isn't actually outside. Inside, sitting there bathed in the harsh blue light of a laptop screen, is our protagonist. They're a highly skilled, incredibly passionate professional, but right now, they are completely, utterly exhausted. Because every single morning, they wake up, open that laptop, and bam, they're hit with a heavy downpour of automated rejection emails. Just cold, impersonal, and totally relentless. I mean, this isn't just a tough job market we're talking about. It's a brutal, completely broken system.
And it means our professional is just trapped in this really toxic cycle. They're sending out endless applications into what feels like a black hole of silent corporate portals. Honestly, it feels a lot like the absolute worst dating app imaginable. And they wake up to nothing but crushing daily rejection. It's like they're treating themselves as this disposable commodity, literally begging digital algorithms just for a mere chance to work. They're playing a game where the rules feel entirely rigged against them. It's a traumatic search, and it's just stripping away their confidence day by day. But here's the crazy part. Those silent portals and that brutal job market, they aren't actually the real villains of this story. Actually, scratch that. The true villain is entirely internal. We are talking about a massive biological crash. Imagine trying to walk forward, but you're suddenly surrounded by this thick, incredibly heavy gray fog. To even try and cope with the overwhelming stress of this job hunt, our professional is barely surviving on terrible, fragmented sleep and way too much heavy processed sugar. Their biological engine is literally sputtering out. And if you've ever stared at a screen and felt your mind just go completely blank, well, you know exactly what this feels like. This internal crash has completely devastating consequences. It causes these massive energy drops throughout the day. We're talking about deep, heavy brain fog that makes even basic communication feel impossible, let alone surviving the high-stakes pressure of a complex technical interview. When your biology is crashing, your brain just cannot survive the emotional trauma of constant corporate rejection. You finally sit down for an interview, and your mind, it just quits. So, I want you to think about your last rejection for a second. When you find yourself staring blankly at an application screen, is your failure actually a lack of skill or intelligence? The answer, according to our source material, is no, absolutely not. Your failure is simply a broken biological engine. It's literally like trying to win a Formula One race with a car that has no oil and 4 flat tires. You're just not going anywhere. Enter your guide, the Evergreen Professional. Now think about nature for a second. An evergreen tree survives the harshest, most brutal winters, right? It keeps its vibrant color while all the other trees just lose their leaves and go dormant. Well, an evergreen professional operates exactly the same way. They view a layoff not as a massive threat, but as an opportunity for a huge reset. They aren't some exhausted applicant acting like a disposable commodity. They are unstoppable leaders. They operate with the intense, focused energy of an elite runner, right at the starting line. And this guide steps in and hands our exhausted professional a completely new paradigm. Traditional career advisors, they'll tell you to just go tweak your resume fonts. But the Evergreen Professional tells you something radically different. Stop sending desperate, bleary-eyed midnight applications. Just close the laptop. Instead, you've got to start treating your career transition exactly like you're training for a high-performance elite athletic event. You need an athletic training plan. Think of your body as this high-tech recharge station. It needs a strict 3-step athletic training plan to fix its biological engine. Okay, so step 1, you absolutely must prioritize 8 solid hours of rest every single night. Premium rest is what actually processes the emotional trauma of the day. Step 2, you've got to replace that heavy processed sugar with premium physical fuel and deep hydration. I mean, you wouldn't pour cheap, dirty fuel into a high-performance machine, would you? And that brings us to step 3, biological waste clearance. You must incorporate daily physical movement into your routine. And look, this isn't just about fitness. When you move, you are literally clearing a path through that dark winter landscape, leaving a glowing trail of clarity right behind you. You're actively flushing biological waste and toxic stress hormones directly out of your nervous system. So, movement clears the stress, hydration replaces the sugar, and rest heals the trauma. And when this strict plan is actually followed, wow, the heavy gray fog entirely lifts. You walk into your next complex interview sitting in bright sunlight, projecting vibrant energy and deep, deep confidence. You can easily recall complex vocabulary. You aren't begging for a job anymore. You are arriving as an unstoppable, high-value asset. It's a total game changer. But we really have to look at what's at stake if we just ignore this. If you ignore this biological engine fix, you're going to remain trapped in that toxic cycle of burnout. Your ongoing sleep deprivation will just turn every minor automated rejection into a massive emotional disaster. It'll completely destroy your resilience, basically leaving you permanently dormant in the winter of your career. Fixing the biology, it's completely non-negotiable. But as incredible as this biological reset is, we have to remember it's really just the foundation. Traditional career advisors completely ignore the full integrated system required to actually thrive in today's broken market. To become completely evergreen, you need a holistic approach. It's the whole shebang. To transition into that unstoppable high-value asset, there are 4 foundational pillars you absolutely must master. First, as we just covered, is fixing the biological engine. Second is mastering behavioral psychology. This is all about learning to calm the emotional elephant in your brain so you can eliminate fear and analysis paralysis. Third, we have inbound networking. Think of this as stopping those totally useless outbound portal applications and instead sharing your expertise publicly to literally pull recruiters directly to you. And fourth is leveraging AI. This means treating artificial intelligence like your brand new digital intern, delegating the soul-crushing, boring tasks to software so you can focus entirely on high-level strategy and genuine human connection. Which brings us to a final, pretty provocative question. Will you remain an exhausted applicant just surviving on sugar and automated rejections? Or will you take control of your biological engine and become an unstoppable evergreen leader? The choice is completely yours. Welcome to a new way of working. Our entire purpose here is to rescue professionals from deep burnout using frameworks just like this. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you in the next explainer.